Another one. Another one. Touchdown Jags! Ball game!
Another Jags podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another Jags podcast, episode 40. It's kind of a milestone.
I say so.
Yeah, man. Something.
It's awesome.
Yeah. We are going to be previewing tonight the Jags versus the Eagles over in London across the pond. We're also going to be talking about the rest of our division, who they play. The Colts are going all the way across the country to play the Raiders this week, and the Texans Thursday night are hosting the Dolphins. So we'll get into those games as well. The Titans have the week off, so everybody in the NFL is happy that we don't have to watch a Titans game because they are about as thrilling as watching grass grow. So we have our full cast of characters with us tonight: Joey, Robert, Jason, myself. Let's get into it, guys. We know who the quarterback is going to be, Blake Bortles. We know who RB1, Carlos Hyde. Okay, so we have a new wrinkle to our offense. That's going to be exciting. The Jaguars have had a lot of success in London in recent years. Blake Bortles is 3-0 as a starter the last 3 years. 8 touchdowns to 1 interception, averaging over 300 yards passing a game. What do you think? Is that going to happen again?
Definitely possible. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Could be.
Anything maybe. Is in the realm. I'm going to be positive with this episode because we dominate in England. I mean, it's kind of our thing at this point, and I think we'll continue to do that. Bortles has played some. I mean, Baltimore game last year was amazing. I mean, I think he's gonna step it up. I think he realizes what's on the line. The coach motivated him last game. I do want to throw out there though, like for Yeldon, we're gonna call him Jekyll from now on because Jekyll and Hyde as a running back combo, it would be awesome. So I'm gonna dub that at this point.
You go ahead.
You're just gonna call him Jekyll? Absolutely. So if I refer to Jekyll, that is. Were you the Yeldon type of guy that gave yourself a nickname when you were younger? I did not.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Call me the Terminator.
Right.
T-Bone.
Well, Joey T-Bone. T-Bone.
If we look at the Eagles, the good thing about the Eagles playing us is that they're very injured as well. So we complain about injuries, and they do too. I mean, their injury list: Haloti Ngata, Lane Johnson, Corey Graham, DJ Alexander, Derek Barnett, Darren Sproles, Jason Peters. I mean,
those are big names.
Those are big names that are injured, and those are just the big names. I need to name the guys that I've never heard of before. This may be a good matchup for the Jags. The Eagles did not look good last week. They blew it late last game.
They're coming off a tough loss.
Yeah, a tough loss, and that fan base is as down as they've been in a while. So if the Jags beat them, ooh, man.
They have the same record as the Jags. They're both teams are 3-4. You know,
good point.
We talk about the Eagles because they won the Super Bowl last year, but which was a great run. But it's not like they're setting the world on fire this season by any means. I love Carson Wentz. I think he's the real deal. Are we stupid to be hopeful about this game based off how the Jags have looked the last 3 weeks? Is that just absolutely asinine?
No, I mean, what are the chances to lose 4 in a row? I mean, the odds are in our favor. Come on, guys.
Ask the Cleveland Browns.
We're no Browns.
No, I'm really optimistic about this game. I think we play well in London. I'm excited about Carlos Hyde running. He's a good running back.
He's a great, I mean, his pitch will be great.
I mean, we can't get more injured, but we could. But I mean, we got to be getting healthier at some point. Like, do we know if DJ Hayden's back this week, or do we know? I mean, like, if we can get just one of these guys back. I mean, what about Patman? I mean, Patman didn't play a lot last game, and he was playing well in the nickel until he got that, I think, a concussion is what they called it last week. Got to get some people back and healthy, and the rookies are starting to play better. Ronnie Harrison's been looking good. Taven Bryan has been looking really athletic on the defensive line. So, yeah, I mean, we got to figure it out at some point. And I feel like with the fire that the Marone lit under him by putting in the backup, Bortles is going to have a good game.
Yeah, I'm going to lock it in. We're winning this game. And
wow, right off the bat.
We are. We're going to win it. The reason being for me is, again, Bortles is going to have a good game, but I think our defense finally shows up like our defense should this week. I think it's a national stage. It's a major game against the Super Bowl winners last year. They have their players only meeting today. They prepare well for England. I think they really come out. We're going to see the turnovers. We're going to see them, get to the ball quick. They're not going to be half a second late for sacks and it just be a pressure. They're not going to drop the interceptions. I think this is the game that our defense finally shows what they've been talking about since preseason.
I like it.
I wish I was hopeful. I'm really not. Until they can prove otherwise, even if the defense does come out and they do better, we get turnovers and they even score a touchdown. But that's still not enough to win our last few games. even if they did that, because our offense is not scoring points. So until I'm not even really, we haven't been getting turnovers, but other than that, our defense has been doing relatively well this year still. Without that, they've been letting the still few points. Even when you go back to the Chiefs game, that was the least amount of points the Chiefs have scored all year. I mean, the Chiefs are looking insane, and we held them to 23, and that's obviously good for that team right now. So the defense, I'm not super worried about, but again, even if they score a touchdown, which is asking a lot, it's not gonna, I don't feel like it's going to help us a lot. So I'm until the offense proves otherwise, I'm not really hopeful.
So your bold prediction?
Yeah, I guess it's bold. Unfortunately, I feel so depressed for saying that, but
Jason?
I wasn't listening at all. I was texting. I'm assuming if Robert was talking, it was something terrible about the Jaguars. So I'm gonna. Are we giving predictions? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, I guess so.
Okay,
Joey
here we go.
Joey kind of launched us
How
into
can you
it.
talk about the game without giving a prediction?
I know, you're right,
Gotta
you're right.
say what you think.
I'm gonna say that the Jags will win in a ugly game where Bortles throws one touchdown and rushes for another, and the Jags win 17-10.
Okay.
One thing to think about though is maybe with some of that like England weather, where it's just hazy and rainy and wet, and who knows what's going to happen, just sloppy, and who grits it out's the winner.
I honestly couldn't tell you what the weather forecast is supposed to be. But
Well,
I think
we'll see.
all the time in London it's
It's like that all the
hazy
time.
and damp.
Clear that or not like 2 times
we
a year.
should defer to our fan Patrick Jackson on this.
Does he live in London?
I think so.
Is he a
Oh.
meteorologist?
I hope so at this point.
We have a lot of UK Jag fans on Twitter.
Nice.
that?
We're famous amongst the UK Jag.
Well, let's hear from you guys this week, man.
Yeah,
What
really.
do you think?
Yeah, so let us know, and we will.
It'll be after the fact.
Either way.
But, I don't know why it goes against logic and everything we've seen. Because I was sitting in the stadium on Sunday watching the Jags lose to the Texans like we predicted, all of us, last week in the preview episode for that game. I'm sitting there going, it doesn't matter that this team has Jalen Ramsey and Calais Campbell and Malik Jackson and Telvin Smith. It's a bad team. The team just looks bad. And yet here I am, just a few days removed, thinking, I think we're going to win this game. And I really don't know why, except for, I think, kind of going back to what Joey said. In the NFL, you don't lose 4 games in a row a lot. I think they're just due. I think they're due to have the ball bounce their way a little bit in this game. I think Carlos Hyde is going to make a big difference. I'm not saying he's going to rush for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns or anything like that, but I do think he is going to take some pressure, not only off Bortles, but off Yeldon and off the receivers a little bit. So I'm expecting him to be an impactful player. You might not see it on the stat sheet, but just in how the game is called. And I think they're going to win. I do. And I'm going to go with I'm going to say 24-17.
24.
Yeah, 24-17.
We're talking about the Jaguars here?
We are, because I'm telling, look, the last 3 years in London, who would have thought what we did against the Ravens last year, how they poured it on the year before that? I mean, there's just something about that can instill some confidence. I think getting away from all the noise and just going over there and being able to play is going to be very beneficial to them. I also think, Marone remembers what Peterson wrote in his book about Marone and how he said that he couldn't believe what he did against New England and how whatever. I think Marone might have a couple tricks up his sleeve to kind of remind everybody that he's not the guy that Peterson called him out to be.
Hey, Marone was bowed up after that game. I mean, Marone is not happy. I mean, he can do whatever he can this week. And I agree. I mean, I think it's the perfect alignment of everything for us to get back on track. And dude, Hyde, man, he might go for 150 and a couple touchdowns. I mean, you talking about chip on your shoulder? I mean, hey, I'm going to let the rookie have your job and we're trading you to Jacksonville, even though you're a good running back. I mean, who would be happy about that? And if he's going to have something to prove, again, a national stage against Super Bowl winner last year, what better game to get out there and just leave it all on the field? And Yeldon's got to be the happiest guy on the entire Jaguars team because, I mean, he's been carrying the offense on his back most of the season.
Yeah, but he's going to get iced out when Fournette comes back.
Well, whatever. I mean, he's got to be happy this game, And I still don't think I still think he has a role in that offense when Fournette's back. Hopefully he keeps Fournette on the field when he comes back. Making him carry the ball every time. I mean, it's going to be good.
I think Yeldon's sitting pretty because if Fournette comes back and Hyde is playing well, then he gets to rest and heal up. And you see on tape what he did this year. He was a serviceable running back, and it's a contract year for him. He can go out and make some money somewhere else. If Hyde stinks the bed, then he's shown the Jaguars what he can do, and he's going to get re-upped with the Jaguars. So I think he's in a win-win situation no matter what happens with Hyde and Fournette. The guy, he's never going to be an RB1, but RB2 for sure, which in the NFL, especially this day and age when a lot of teams do, feature two different running backs, that's huge. So I think Yeldon's, I think he's fine. I think he's going to get healthy as well. And we'll let Carlos Hyde take it a little bit. Why not?
Joey, did you have a score prediction?
10-7. I'm picking that for the rest of the year for every game.
You wouldn't have been far off if Bortles didn't fumble twice against Texans.
That's
They only
true.
allowed 10 points.
That's
we
true.
scored 7. That would have nailed it.
I want to pick us to win, but I can't. I'm going to go 2014. And I mean, my issue is right now is we've scored 28 points in the last 4 games. That's all. We've hit 1 touchdown for 2 games. I hate it, but I just don't think our offense can do anything right now.
Since I'm throwing out like nicknames here, we got Jekyll.
Yeah, that's catching on like wildfire.
It is. We're gonna make that happen. I'm gonna go dub Robert over here Eeyore because I mean, come on.
Hey,
Say something positive.
What-
One thing positive for the next game.
What
Just one
positives do I
thing.
have?
Just
I
one
said the
thing.
defense.
Come on, Eeyore.
Right?
Hey, Lambo's gonna go 1 for 1 on field goal. Say something positive.
I love Lambo.
I don't know. It's gonna be hazy and cold.
That's right. No, I mean, it goes against everything I thought I would have picked had we made this prediction right after the game against the Texans. Because I was ready to write off the season. But, at the same time, I don't know. This could work out well. And then if it does, I mean, my God, my goodness, 4-4 versus 3-5 is night and day. Going into the bye, then I think some real hope will be restored to the team and to the fan base here in Jacksonville. If we can win that game, that is a season-saving win.
I flip-flop, so if that happens, we'll win the Super Bowl. So I don't know.
Absolutely. But what happens if Bortles has a bad game and they bench him again for Kessler? I mean, is that it for him? How many times can you get benched and come back the next week and start?
You can't bench him. I mean, if he gets benched this one, you can't bring him back. I mean, you can't keep
Kessler
doing that.
gets hurt or something.
Well, yeah, but I mean, other than that, you can't just keep benching your starting quarterback and then bring him back the next
if
week
he
as a
gets benched
starter.
This week, it's done.
Yeah, I think that short leash was just a little something to throw out there. There's no way they bench him before the bye week. If he goes out there and stinks the bed and then, bye week afterwards, I mean, they might make a change at that point, but I don't see them benching him again.
I hope they don't have to.
I agree. And I don't think it's going to be necessary, but I just don't see it happen even if it somewhat is.
Not to get into that, but if they do bench him, do they try to go pick someone up or do they run with Kessler the rest of the year?
I don't think they get anybody. I'd say just roll with what you got because, I mean, who are they going to bring in?
Taysom Hill. I was big on Cody Kessler in the preseason.
Yeah, you were.
And
you were big on Taysom Hill in the preseason. We
Yeah.
played the Saints.
Yeah, exactly. So
I remember you talking about him.
I was thinking about guns on both of these, but I like Kessler. I think he could come in, and we saw what he could do. He's a good quarterback. He played for the Browns for crying out loud. So give him some slack here.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I think anyone that we would bring in would either be a lateral move or backwards from Kessler. Honestly, I really do.
And again, I love Bortles, but I would not have been mad if they said Kessler's a starter for this game. I mean, I think he somewhat deserves a shot and see what he can do. I just don't think this was the right game for it. So I think you put Bortles back in. If he stinks it up, man, and looks like crap, then Kessler's starting after the bye week. I think that's a better route to go.
All right, before we move on, we do want to remind everyone that we are on Twitter at Another Jags Pod and Facebook and Instagram at Another Jags Podcast. I'm sorry I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the episode. I was so excited to get into the preview to forget about last week's game and move forward. I failed to mention our social media platforms. You can also find us on YouTube at Another Jags Podcast. Just search that and all of our episodes will be pulled up there. Or if you dare, go to our website, anotherjagspodcast.com. So, as we have all given our predictions for the Jags Eagles, let's talk about within the division. The other game that we have in the division is the Colts going to the Raiders. And I'll start this one, and I'm going to say the Colts win this game. And I think they win it, I want to say handily, but I don't think it's ever really close. Maybe a 10-point difference when it's all said and done. They looked very good last week against Buffalo, put up a lot of points. It was a blowout, absolute blowout. And I think they're going to do it again against an Oakland team that just traded their number one wide receiver and are just absolutely reeling. So they're looking for that number one pick in the draft, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Oakland's tanking at this for the rest of the year. I mean, there was rumors about them possibly trying to trade Derek Carr. Who knows if that's true or not? But I mean, they are in full, I guess, what they would call rebuild mode. And I just think they're going to tank the whole rest of the year, and they don't really care about it. They're looking for those draft picks and coming back out next year.
They're in full on Chucky, I've got a plan mode, it seems like. Whether that plan is a good plan or not, that's who knows. But I'm going to have to go with Oakland on this one. Just because the Colts, I can't ever pick the Colts to win just because I hate them. I think they're garbage. They got a decent quarterback that can throw the ball 10 yards down the field. That's it. I'm going with the Colts.
Are you
Oakland.
saying that because I played you in fantasy this week and Andrew Luck threw for 4 touchdowns?
Sure, they're all 9 yards, but whatever.
Yeah, and I beat you by like 20 points.
Just got to start Derek Anderson. I mean, come on, man. I had to pick up Derek Anderson.
You knew I was going to throw that in there.
You had to throw it out there. It was just somewhat close. No, I just don't like the Colts. I think they're not good at all, and we're going to beat them twice. So I think Oakland takes this one.
This is a 1-5 Oakland team playing a 2-4 Indianapolis team. This is as bad as the matchup gets on paper. But I do think Oakland plays in the hardest division in the AFC, and a lot of their losses, are to some good teams.
It's a good point.
I think that Oakland will win, and just 2 bad teams, and I think Oakland's the better of the 2 bad teams.
I can't guarantee I will not be watching this game.
No?
No.
I think it's insane. Oakland put up 45 points against the Browns, and then from the Chargers, they went down to 10 points, and then to the Seahawks, they went down to 3 points. They went from high to, I think they're going to score 0 points this week.
If the trend continues,
I don't know where else they can go.
Right.
Maybe a safety.
Yeah, maybe so. Am I the only one that picked the Colts?
I don't know who
Guess
Robert
so.
picked.
I picked Oakland.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. I picked the Colts.
Okay, you did. Okay, so we're split on that one. Either way, the Colts are, they're, I don't want to say they're a non-factor this year because they're really not that far from, what are they, 1 game different than the Jags, which is crazy. But I don't see them being a contender throughout the year. But I do think they win this one. So, if the Jags can pull out this win, order is then restored. And then they get a bye and get healthy and then start over again in the second half, which would be nice.
I think emotionally for the team, this is the biggest game of the year. I mean, I think going into the bye with a win could fix a lot of stuff, just from a joy of football standpoint. I mean, these guys can't be having fun right now. The coaches can't be having fun. And if you're not enjoying the people you're around, you're not going to play as good as you can. So, I mean, I think this is really, really important to go out there, play well, get a win, come back and recoup and have some guys come back healthy. It's major.
That's a great point. If you think about the plane ride home on a win in London versus and being 4-4 and right back in the thick of it versus a loss and 3-5, that's a long plane ride home on a loss.
It could be the turning point or breaking point for the season. I mean, seriously.
I mean, if we're looking ahead, which why not? Let's do it. And let's just assume, be optimistic and hopeful that the Jaguars win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They have the bye and they come back with a healthy Leonard Fournette. And let's just say a healthy DJ Hayden. We'll just assume that because it's been long enough. The dude needs to be playing again. That, besides Cam Robinson, really puts the team back to where they started the season for the most part. The regular season. Marquise Lee was hurt in the preseason.
It also gives Linder a good long break, which that needs it as well.
These guys need to rest. And so then they go on the road after the bye and play the Colts, who we all just said are not a very good team. So you never pencil in a win in the NFL, but that's a good chance that they win that game. That puts them back in the win column at 5-4. And then who knows? Then they got the Steelers on a Sunday night, which, we are the Titans to the Steelers like they are to us. So, I mean, you just never know. The season can turn really quick.
That could be some serious momentum our way.
Big time. So you're right, Joey. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. This game, man, is make or break. It really is, because it's going to be a lot harder to come back from 3-5 than 4-4. You can do it. It's possible. And I just want to see how they respond, man. Backs are against the wall. Everyone in the world is doubting them. Quarterback just got benched. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, if we're the team that we think they are, and if they're the players that they think they are, they win this game. without a doubt. I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't. So, I mean, but it's scary, man. If they don't, I'm going to have a hard time coming in here next week with something good to say.
Not just if they don't, but if they lose bad.
Yeah,
like
if it's just another ugly, same old thing.
They haven't lost a close game yet. Well, the Titans game.
But again, I'm speaking good things, man. That's not happening. They're rebounding. They're showing us what they got. They're gutting it out, and it's going to be a different season from here on out.
Yeah, for me, it's a prove it game. I mean, if they can do this, I mean, like going down the list, there's not a whole lot other than possibly the Steelers, even though we have their number. You never know. But we should have a pretty favorable rest of the season. But I mean, the offense has to prove to us that they can beat the Eagles.
Jason, kind of quiet over there. Pensive.
Pensive would be the right word.
Yeah.
On the
If
fence,
I knew what
on the
that
fence,
meant.
perhaps.
Are you trying to give me a nickname, Joey?
On the fence.
on the fence, Trent.
Yeah.
I'll have to come up with a better one than that.
Eagles are reeling, just like the Jaguars are. If we can't beat the Eagles in London, coming back from this,
Long season.
like you said, it's a long season. Unless Kessler, is the answer.
Yeah.
But
So if that happens after the bye week, we'll be doing our mock drafts for next season.
Yes, we will. I'll start reading them after that. But we're going to cross that bridge when we get there. All right, I think that pretty much wraps up our thoughts for this upcoming week. I'm going to say overall we're optimistic, besides Robert, who's being realistic. Can't fault him for that.
It's very true.
You can't fault him for that at all. We do want to let all of our listeners know of a great opportunity. Our church is having a kind of a tailgate party for the Jaguars-Eagles game. Our church service is going to start at 9 o'clock at Beaches Chapel in Neptune Beach. That's Beaches Chapel. There's a lot of churches at the beach with beach something, but we are Beaches Chapel on Florida Boulevard. Service starts at 9 o'clock. We're going to have a little, 30-minute church service, and after that, we're going to serve free breakfast, have free raffles, free games for the kids as a family-friendly event. We're going to show the game on the screen and just have a good time. It's free because we charge money for it. We would, I believe, be breaking a lot of laws. So we're not going to do that. And so if you're around the beaches area or not and would just like to come, bring your kids, let them. We're going to have cornhole set up, ladder game, giant Jenga, crafts, all that stuff. So serving pancakes, breakfast burritos. It's going to be a really good time. So we want to invite you out to that. It starts at 9 o'clock, games at 9:30. And we're even going to be doing a halftime interview with some former Jaguar players, which is going to be a lot of fun. So come on out if you can. We'd love to have you. And we'll even probably put that on our Facebook and social media accounts and kind of let everyone know about that. So that's going to be a good time.
Yeah, and I would like to throw out there, if it is your first time coming, look for James, look for Jason, Robert, Joey, find us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty much famous at this point, so
tell
it'll
us
be
how
pretty easy.
bad we are at podcasting.
Yeah, tell us
Cartoon
whatever, man.
faces are out there.
Yeah, we're cool with it. We're cool.
Love-
Joey will
love to
wear
meet
the
you guys.
hat so that you know who he is.
And a
the rest of
cutoff
us-
sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
Can't guarantee the sleeveless, but I definitely will put a hat on.
Yeah,
for you
it's a casual day, so you can get away with a hat for this as well. But wear your Jags gear. We'll be in ours, and should be a good time. Win or lose, but especially win. Right?
Hopefully win.
All right, great. Definitely. Hopefully.
There you go, Jason. I like that.
In the words of Joey, definitely, hopefully. All right, that does it for episode 40. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all on the other side. As always, go Jags. Was that Irish or English? Go Jags. I went Irish.
Definitely leaving that in there.
Yeah.